Yeah, hey there. These comments are for Farnoosh or Nushi. This is Michael Buckoff from BetterToeflScores.com. So you sent me a message. Looks like you got an automated message from me. And you say, thanks for the email. I've actually done the TOEFL twice. My last score was 77. My next test is April 15th. I need a score of 80. My lowest score is on the reading. I've got 21 on the speaking, 22 on the writing, and 19 on the listening. My main concern is the reading section. I have 3 weeks to work on. I really appreciate any suggestions that you can offer me. I currently live in California. I've attended some TOEFL classes before, but they haven't been really helpful. Thanks, Farnoosh. You got a good question. Reading, unfortunately, takes a long time, I think, to develop true reading fluency. This is number one. You got to kind of think about that for a minute. So there's probably not a lot you can do between March 30 and April 15th that's going to make a huge difference, I think, in terms of your TOEFL reading score. But I think your TOEFL reading score is dependent, I think, on a few factors. And the first thing is you need to have adequate college level vocabulary. Number one. Number two, you need to regularly read for about 45 to 60 minutes a day. You need to do this for several months. You can read newspapers like the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times. You can read novels, longer books. You can find these in online sites like barnesandnoble.com and Bibliomania. So I think if you engage in extensive reading, remember that the TOEFL can be over an hour to hour and a half on the reading section. So when I say read for 45 minutes, it means that you got to turn your phone off. You don't answer the door when somebody knocks. You find a quiet location where you can read nonstop. You don't even stop when you see words you don't understand. You just keep reading during those 45 minutes. Now, if you like, you can go back and study vocabulary when you're done with those 45 minutes, but you need to engage in that nonstop reading. Now, the third thing that you need to do is you need to have the TOEFL iBT reading test taking strategies. You need to be familiar with all the question types. That's also important. And maybe the last thing is you need to have a fairly fast reading speed. This is very, very important. How fast do you need to have, or what should your reading speed be? I think before you take the TOEFL iBT, you need to be able to read from a computer screen a minimum of about 300 words per minute. It sounds crazy, but faster readers actually have better comprehension. That means that you can answer the TOEFL questions a lot faster if you have a faster reading speed. So let me kind of go over what I just talked about. First of all, you need good college level vocabulary. I have a free vocabulary list at BetterToeflScores.com. You probably already have that, I'm guessing, because of the email you're receiving. So you need to make sure that you understand all the words on that list. Number two, you have to regularly read for 45 minutes or longer. Do this over several months. You also need some good iBT test-taking reading strategies. My 7-step system to pass the TOEFL test, I do have a reading section. And if you subscribe and use my reading services, certainly you can do that and you can focus on the reading section. But I'm telling you, you're not satisfied. I wouldn't be satisfied with 19 on the listening or 21 on the speaking. You can probably do a little bit better than that, even if you organize yourself. So I think I can help you with all parts of the test, and especially I can help you with the reading also. But those are my basic suggestions. So let me give you an example of something that kind of relates to your situation. And then I'll kind of end this. I've probably boring you too much here. But one of my hobbies is I'm a distance runner. Now, a lot of people who like to train for the marathon, they like to do the faster, shorter type runs. But when it comes to doing the long run, for example, running for maybe 15 or 20 miles, at a time. They don't do those long runs. So really, ultimately, they're not prepared, I think, to race the marathon distance. So like running marathons, I think taking the Toefl iBT does have a fairly extensive reading section, which is difficult. And you have to make sure that you're prepared, I think, to tackle the difficulties of that reading section. So those are kind of some of my basic, and the main thing I'm saying here is that engaging in extensive reading for 45 to 60 minutes every day and doing that over several months, that seems to be the key that really moves people over the edge in terms of improving their overall reading proficiency. So I'll kind of end on that one note. But anyway, good luck to you. I know you're taking the test here in a few weeks, so I hope that you do really well. And again, thank you for your email.